Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a superhero movie review and I'll be having a look at Defendor. Now this is a kind of independent movie and don't get the impression this is kind of an actual superhero film. It's kind of more along the lines of a sort of drama film really, but with a kind of superhero twist. And basically it stars Woody Harrelson as Defender himself, who's essentially a kind of simple, mentally challenged man who kind of assumes the kind of guise of this superhero called Defender, which he kind of makes a sort of homemade costume and a few kind of weapons, and ultimately sort of tries to sort of fight crime. And it basically it kind of originates from his sort of childhood, where he's sort of, I think his mother was like a you know, went missing and she was like a prostitute or something when he was younger, and made him go on this sort of quest for justice really. And it's really kind of a story of how one man can kind of make a difference within this kind of local community. As we sort of see Woody Harrelson's character basically kind of have this kind of this journey and kind of have this sort of almost a kind of quasi-romance with Kat Dennings' character, who sort of plays a prostitute. And he's kind of on this mission to find what he calls Captain Industry, who he thinks is kind of like this supervillain. And ultimately it was just a phrase that was sort of said to him. But it turns out that you know, he actually ends up sort of going across this kind of crime boss who has got sort of crooked police in his pocket and things like that. And ultimately it does become a bit of a kind of superhero action film to a certain degree. But I have to say the charm that the kind of Defendor character has, played by Woody Harrelson, is the thing that really drives this movie. And I actually really loved it because I think Harrelson gives such a great performance, and you kind of really buy in to this kind of this simple man who's just got this philosophy on life about, you know, good and what's bad. Absolutely fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it. Film, like I said, don't be fooled in thinking this is an actual kind of superhero film. They're not really any superheroes in it. It's just a guy just sort of, you know, who has kind of had some mental problems dressing up as a superhero. That said, if you're a fan of these kind of superhero movies, I really enjoy. I mean, I am, and I certainly enjoyed this movie. It's a well-acted movie. I know there's, you know, this Kat Dennings has a kind of detractors, you know, in the Thor movies and stuff like that, but here I think she's pretty decent. She's not the kind of this annoying character as she is like in the Thor movies, for example. So I strongly suggest giving it a chance. All the performances, I'd say, you know, are pretty decent. And you know, the ending of this movie, I have to say, I watched it, you know, over and over again. It's got such a sort of strong ending, and you know, a really sort of good message. And it's a kind of a feel-good movie at the end of the day. So I really recommend this movie if you haven't seen it. It's a kind of one that's kind of gone under the radar a little bit. So I think many people sort of compare it to Kick-Ass. And whilst Kick-Ass is, I guess it's sort of similar in a way, but this is more of a drama, whilst Kick-Ass is more of a sort of an action film and probably more along the lines of a traditional superhero movie. But go check this one out if you are a fan of Kick-Ass and you kind of maybe thought it was maybe a little bit too shallow. I strongly recommend this one. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.